Hello and welcome back to another Star Citizen video. It is day 3 and we're going to cover two very important things today. Number one, there is some drama in for the Invictus launch week, and I think it's kind of warranted though, because my initial impression of the what you call this the performance blades was just not great. But of course, more importantly, we want to know why, or rather, in my opinion, I think this is how CIG is thinking, and I'm gonna put my opinions on it. And of course, out of principle, I'm gonna officially announce what I should be doing from here on out. So before we begin, like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow. And of course, we're going to start with the number one PSA. You do not need to buy any of this ship with real money. All you need is a starter pack. And there goes most of the, I wouldn't say argument, but that's generally it, right? Doesn't matter what the CIG offers in general, just have a starter pack in order to enjoy Star Citizen. All right, so let's begin with the first important drama. Yep. And that is, let's go straight up, and that is actually vehicle mods. And this is, like I said, I was borderline, like, I'm on the other side, right? It's like, why would you bother to do all this? And on one end, I kinda knew what they want to do, but ugh. Okay, so of course we also have weapon kits as well, and today we're going to address both of them, and this is number one. First and foremost, CIG has how they raise money is by selling ships, and during the initial days of the Kickstarter for Star Citizen, right, some history is needed, and so they just sell ships. Personally, that is their main business, I would say, proposal, right? You help fund the game, and in return we give you a ship. And of course we have a lot of price point, and then for those who manage to pledge early in the during the project, they get a very, I wouldn't say cheap Idris, but it's cheap Idris, and it's an Idris M. It is a military version. Now as the Kickstarter goes on, and now when they done their Kickstarter stuff, they go into a full-fledged crowdfunding game. We get a few items along the way, and that is in the guise. Okay, so we're gonna go to Aegis first, because this is their first implementation on, I would say, packages and kits, right? Before we go to mods. And those are like Avenger Stalker, and then you want to get a different variant, Avenger Titan, you want to get a much better loadout and skin. These are the early days. Then you get Avenger Titan Renegade. Now these are not to say swappable, they are not swappable, okay? The skin is tied to this guy. And the weapons, okay, so weapons, there goes the first, I wouldn't say drama, the first argument is that, hey, now we have two different ships with two different loadout, and technically you can say it's pay to win. Now before we go to the pay to win part, okay, what is pay to win? And in Star Citizen in general, I wouldn't say it's pay to win in the early days. Sure, people would say it's pay to win because you cut down by time. In that case, are you winning? Technically, yes, you are kind of winning in terms of time. You're saving quite a lot of time, and there's no way to go around that. Okay, that's first and foremost. And so now we have weapon loadout. So it's kind of similar to like weapon kits. Now, in the early days, it's a bit different. But then again, when I look back, actually, it is not far off. Like, for example, the Idris P, we have now a few kits. Idris K, Idris T. Those are the two kits that you can slap onto your Idris P, and with an extra cost. The only justification for that is you are getting an extra weapon. And that goes a little bit interesting because for the Retaliator, we have modules, which comes down much down the line later. And this is following the original concept of, for example, their Vanguard series, okay? So you have a Vanguard Harbinger, you don't care about this guy, Vanguard Sentinel, and Vanguard Warden. They have a, I would say, upgrade kit as well, or rather not really kit, it's kind of like modular. Like you can swap the inner room per se from Warden. You can switch to Sentinel, and if you want to, you can go to the Harbinger. I still have the Harbinger kit per se. I think they call it, what did they call that? I don't want to go through my hanger. they call it, it's something like a kit. So that is, I thought, okay, back then it was, I think it's okay-ish, because you're getting one base ship and then you can swap to different loadout. Now, what's the difference between vehicle mods? In technical terms, not much of a difference. That's why I did not want to pass judgment yet. Okay, but of course the community voiced out because this really changed the flight characteristic, the handling. So it's basically an upgrade kit in general. Okay, so before we go into it, the first thing is obviously CIG wants money. I did say it's slightly predatory. That's not cool. It is kind of paywall. Now, before we go to paywall, first and foremost is for a person who pays for a ship, okay? And you should, right? Anyone in the verse or just have a starter pack should be able to get any of the item listed for real money. Number one, that goes without saying, okay? So I think CIG has changed a little bit on that. And I wouldn't say kudos to them. It is something that they can and should be avoiding, okay? They should say, hey, you know what? If you want to buy the kit, you can buy the kit. And it should be in the verse, hands down. The question is, why should we need to sell kits? Cosmetic, I can understand. Okay. Cosmetic wise, I have drawn a very, very, I would say, I'm not say fine line, but I already split the between the two. If you want to pay real money for cosmetic, doesn't matter what game you're playing, sure, go ahead if you want to. But if you want to buy items that enhance your performance, then we want to take a deeper look. So in my opinion, this should not be paid at all, in my opinion. Okay, because you are buying a ship to begin with. You already have the number one pay to win, in my opinion. Or in terms of the class, the tried and true definition of pay to win. You already have, right? Battle of the wallets, that's how I put it. Okay. And there you go. So I would, out of principle, if I were to see any of this type of upgrade kit, I would definitely say don't even bother. Yeah, just don't bother. Now there goes the next part. What about weapon kits? Now this one is currently on the fence for me, but it still need to adhere the first requirement. It has to be available in the game day one, right? If you're gonna sell it, it must be in the game day one. If not, then I have to question a little bit. The only exception is for some of you might be ready for this, but the only exception is for ships like the Idris. Now the Idris is expensive to begin with, and on one end as well, I don't like to be nickel and dime. Okay, that's the reason why I don't really like the blades, right? In general, weapon kits, it's kind of on the borderline, because on one end, how do you draw that line over there? That's the question. Yeah, especially on the Avenger Titan and the Avenger Titan Renegade, because both of them is technically almost the same. The only difference is you pay $15 more for a better loadout and a skin, and this is no difference than buying a separate pack worth $15. So currently for weapon kits, I'm gonna put on the borderline of you don't really need it. If you really like, the only tipping point is the skin. Because the only thing that right now that I don't mind spending money is technically the Heartseeker, because Heartseeker has a cool skin and I kind of like it. So that's the only one. But because of all these weapon blades and whatnot, out of principle, in general, I will not, from here on out, I will not recommend. Okay, there will be a big disclaimer. It's like you really, really have to think twice before you grab any of the upgrade kit. In fact, I actually started way back when any of the modular ships, I will not buy the modules straight up. All right, I will earn it in game. I just need the base version of the ship, and I'm good with it. And that's that. So that's the thing that I want to put out, and there we go. That's where I will stand. Out of principle, I will only support the base ship. And if we get ships like Apollo Triage and the Apollo Medivac, okay, so if it's stats difference, so this is the only exception that I can accept. If they give you literally different hulls, I know down the line they will do something stupid, okay? Bear with me, but I know down the line they might do something like, oh, you get the Apollo. Do you want a Medivac version add-on kit? Oh, the base triage. Out of principle, if they separate it, I'm not gonna tell you to spend more. That's for sure. Okay. So with that, let's begin with the Robert Space Industry brand. So we're gonna start off with the Apollo Medivac and the Apollo Triage. Better armor and whatnot. See, this is a slippery slope when they start selling upgrade kits like that. On one end, I kind of know what they try to do. Instead of making new different halls, they give you, hey, here's an upgrade kit. That's the part that gets very, very icky, and yeah, it's a slippery slope. Truth be told, I don't know how to navigate right now. So for now, I'm just gonna go through the ships in general, and let's move on a little bit. Okay, obviously vote with your wallet. Before we officially begin, vote with your wallet. You only need a starter pack. Done. Dot. Okay, simple as that. Okay, so Apollo Medivac, Apollo Triage, the difference is stronger armor on the Medivac, and the Apollo Triage is just the base version. Personally, I love this. No, I love the concept of this ship. So right now on specs, this two ship has tier 1 to tier 3 bed, and I would like to see how they handle this, because this would be, if I'm doing my daily driver, okay, I would definitely bring out the Cutlass Red. But if I want a little bit more oomph in terms of medical gameplay all in one, I think the Apollo might be able to take the cake. But the price tag, 275? Yeah, so also, I don't recommend to buy the ship outright sticker price. And that's the reason why I think I can still do this, because you can upgrade too. So that I think that's the fine line between when you split up to kits and the ship itself. Yep. Okay, so that's that. Next up, we have the Aurora series. We have the L, and oh, that's it. No MR. So these are light fighters, cool, $40. No, Skipperino. Andromeda, one of the best, I won't say the best, but one of the best entry multi-cruise ship that people can, I would say, afford. $240 is still a lot. But it is the, like, I would say the starter multi-cruise ship that you can get in with relatively cheaper price tag. Do note the Andromeda has a snub fighter, so you're getting two ships in one, which is nice. Same goes with the Constellation Aquila. Now the Aquila is an exploration variant, and just stick to Andromeda if you want to, but then again, there is a different design. So for this case, same thing as well. Like if there's a different ship design, like I said, slippery slope, very, very slippery slope. Constellation Phoenix luxury version, $250. This is technically an easy skip for me, because if you want to spend that type of money for a luxury ship, Origin Jump works straight up. And we go for the, and no, not we go, and last but not least, on the Constellation series, we get the best multi-cruise ship, and it's cheap in terms of Okay, I cannot use the word cheap anymore. You get the cheaper price tag, or rather the cheapest entry multi-cruise ship one could get. And we got pilot control weapons, which is fantastic, and they are beefy, they are nice, they are great. And there's a special upgrade offer. On top of it, there is a special upgrade offer. This is my go-to recommendation for multi-cruise ship. Straight up. It's awesome. Next up, we have the Lynx, which is $60 ground vehicle. And of course, you can actually fit a Lynx in the constellation Taurus. And yeah, that is enough space. So there we go. Next up, we have the Mantis, $150. This is an interdictor ship. Now, this ship is sadly, it got beat down by another ship, unfortunately. But yeah, unfortunately. So this is a good, just a not say temporary ship. The Mantis is a weird position right now because on one end, if you're flying a guerrilla group, a small group, do you really need a Mantis? On one end, the Mantis is definitely cheaper than the alternative for interdictor, as an interdictor ship, but is it good enough? Is it cheap enough? Tough choice. Next up, one of these upcoming ship, one of the ship that people are anticipating, it is the Perseus. Now, of course, everyone right now is getting, the honeymoon period from the Idris, but the Idris is big. The Idris is huge, it's big. Personally, yes, it's cool. It has size 12 torpedoes, size 10 railgun and lasers, but the Perseus has two twin size 7 turrets, and this guy packs a punch. Sure, you got this on the Idris as well, but obviously the Perseus is smaller, it should be more nimble, and in theory, in paper specs, the Perseus should be able to outmaneuver any of the Idris main weapons. Okay, so the laser should be able, the Perseus should be able to avoid the laser tracking. I'm gonna say hands down. Okay, it should. If it does not, then we have a problem. That's it. All right. Perseus is one of the ships that I'm also looking forward to. I do like it. And to top it off, $675. It's definitely cheaper than the Idris. The only difference is you cannot fit your toys inside there, especially your vehicles and extra ships. Okay, not a big deal, because we have a next best one, which is the Polaris. Unfortunately, the Polaris is $975. It went up in price too much. I cannot recommend this anymore. It is too much. You can upgrade too. If you get a special Warborn upgrade, that's the only time that I can say, okay, if you want to get a Polaris, sure. But other than that, don't bother. I love this ship. I have this ship. I couldn't recommend this ship. All right, that's that. I would say actually Perseus will be a better alternative if you could not get the Polaris. Yeah, but the hangar, the main selling point of the Polaris is actually the fighter hangar. It is big enough to carry at least most of the popular small to medium fighters in a way. You can kind of squeeze in a vulture inside there, but you definitely can't fit a golem in. So there we go. We got one small little mining ship over there. Now, if we can get another small salvaging ship, fantastic. But of course, you can fit all your Argos inside. So there we go. But then again, same goes to the Perseus. You could do it too. And if you want to carry ships, there are better, cheaper alternative than the Polaris. The only difference is non-combat. Next up, we have the Scorpius, $250. This is a nice little nifty ship. It's cool, it's great. $240 for now. If I were to recommend, right, a fighter ship out there, Scorpius is one of them. Okay, you know what? I have to give in. I have to give in. Scorpius is one of them. But don't buy sticker price. Ugh. Next up, we have a different variant, which is Scorpius Antares. Now, this is better In fact, this has interdiction and EMP, so this literally is a better ship compared to the Mantis. Straight up. You have the firepower to not say to lock down. You have the utility to lock down ships by not letting it run away, and you have the firepower to take it down if you need to. So this is definitely a much better package. However, that being said, Zeus, the Zeus Marquee, the Zeus Mark, I think that would be a better ship overall, and it's cheaper at the moment because it's still in concept. Do we have a Zeus Mark over here? Before we go there, the Zeus is, oh no, it's supposed to be somewhere around here. All right, so we're gonna take a look once we're up. So we have Ursa, $50. Okay, but we have the Ursa Medivac. This is the only ground vehicles that I will recommend if you really want to pick up a vehicle. Do note, I never recommend vehicles for real money, okay? Because it's just not worth it in general. But if you really want to pick up Ursa Medivac, is cool, but wait for Warborn upgrade if you can, because I would like to have my Ursa Medivac to have lifetime insurance, and you can get the MTC and upgrade to the Medivac. Ta-da! And we have the Zeus Mark II. Yeah, I don't know why you call it Mark or Marquee. It is the next gen interdiction. Okay, forget about the next gen interdiction ship. It is $190. It is currently the cheapest interdiction ship that you can get. And on top of that, the Zeus Mark II. Forget about the Mark. In general, the platform is much better for a daily driver with combat capabilities. I actually have, not say have this, I already have a upgrade plan to grab this ship. And of course, the price will go up once the ship is flight ready. So this is one of the best time to grab if you have not grabbed one and you want something like a daily driver. Sure, this is going to be the most expensive daily driver to date from my recommendation. Unfortunately, $190 is a lot of money. All right, so that's that for the RSI. Now next we're going to move on to Origin Jumpworks. Unfortunately, Origin Jumpworks, we get not much of a selection. 125A, Avenger Titan is better. 325A, okay, it's slightly a little bit better than the Avenger Titan, but not really better, because the Avenger Titan is cheaper by $10 and still pack a better punch in general, thanks to its nose hardpoint. Size 4 nose hardpoint. That's a tough hardpoint to beat. Okay, sure, the 325A has all size 3 hardpoint, but the Avenger Titan, yeah. Okay, I'm going to explain why the Avenger Titan is slightly better, right? Size 4 weapon hardpoint for the main nose, and then 2 size 2 for the wings. Now, I can strip down the wings and put all the power to the nose, which means I can pack a size 4 weapon. And unless they really fine-tune and says, hey, you know what? 3 size 3 DPS is better than 1 size 4 DPS. Wait, technically it's correct, because 3 size 3 is definitely better. But 3 size 3 also drains a lot of you need a very good power plant. Yeah, actually no, the comparison is 3 size 3 versus 1 size 4 and 2 size 2. Because then technically those two weapon, I won't say platform, the DPS is almost the same. Almost. But it will put a strain on your power plant, that's for sure. And then for Titan, I can just divert all the power into the nose cannon, and I still output quite a decent DPS. I can sustain. I know they changed the weapon from, because previously size 4 was a good step up from size 3, like range and whatnot. So of course things change a little bit throughout the development of Star Citizen. That's why one of the one of the sub requirement is taper your expectation. Don't fall in love to your ship too much. because when it changed, a lot of people get angry on their favorite ship. Next up, we have G12A. It is a vehicle's easy skip. Easy skip. Origin, sadly, it's mainly for luxury, so it's I wouldn't say worth spending your real money for their combat variant. Again, it's always nice to have variants in the game, but to sell them, that's a whole different story. And that being said, the MPUV Cargo, it's a nice nifty ship, not recommended. There's no jump drive. MPUV Personnel, same thing as well, nifty ship. And this is great for the Idris, but not for solo. All right, $40, easy skip. However, the only exception is the MPUV Tractor. Now, if you own large ships, the MPUV Tractor has the best utility offering. So if you have a Polaris, I would say grab an I wouldn't say buy an MPUV Tractor with real money, grab it in game. This is all in game, okay? I would not recommend buy any of this real money. And yeah, large ship, I would say at least put an MPUV Tractor in your hangar bay or your vehicle bay. It's small enough to stuff it. Next up, we have the SRV, $165. This is a space tugboat. Now, before I will not comment on this ship yet. I would say pass judgment. We need a gameplay loop where the SRV is viable, because we need to at least able to sell a whole ship. If we can, the SRV is a good pick. For now, no. Yeah, so that's that. And I'm not gonna go through all this. Basically, I would not even bother to recommend yes, we can talk about it, but no, out of principle as well. No. All right, so with that, that's all I have for you for today. Day 3 is another long-winded video, unfortunately, because of the drama. I would say we need to, what do you call this? We need to acknowledge that it is a bad thing. And of course, lots of people are vocal about it. It should be. And of course, an extra one for those people who are not that vocal, vote with your wallet. Simple as that. And with that, that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. Until then, I will see you guys in the next Star Citizen video. And the next one would be Mirai. Oh, we have some new ships here. Haha! Consolidated Outland. We need one more new ship. Come on, please. Something small, medium. A single-seated salvaging ship would be awesome here, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be awesome. Alright. That's it. The Zeus. Zeus.